Okay, picture this. You're in class when suddenly your teacher announces what might just be the worst kind of assignment that I can imagine, a group project. This happened to me one time in freshman year in high school in my English class. My teacher assigned me to work on a project with a classmate. And this person was cool, but not always the best at studying. And neither was I, so I thought that it would be fine. That was until we turned in our project. See, I had done my portion of the paper, and I thought that she had done hers. Then my teacher called me to the desk and said something like, "You know what you did." To which I responded, "Yeah, I did my best and I wrote a good paper." Then he said the words that are basically accusing someone of an international crime in high school. "You plagiarized." Long story short, I did not plagiarize, but she did. It all got worked out in the end, at least for me, and I didn't wind up getting in trouble. But still, it would have just been so much easier to write that paper all on my own. Those kind of experiences make it seem easier to work alone. In other words, it's easier when I only have to think about myself and what I have to do. Because the truth is, there's some stuff that just seems like it would be easier to do alone. Here's the thing. Life, and especially our relationships with people around us, is not a lone wolf thing. We've been talking about integrity, which we define like this. Integrity equals authenticity plus good character. Like a lot of things, practicing integrity would be easier if other people weren't involved. Here's an example. Here's a few examples. Doing the right thing is easy when no one else is influencing you. Or it's easy to be honest when you don't have to worry about how someone else will feel or react to what you have to say. And being kind is only difficult when other people are unkind or annoying to us. We're going to spend our lives in relationships with other people. The question is this: how do we show integrity when we're navigating complicated relationships with complicated people? It's much easier to do the right thing when things are good, but integrity requires us to demonstrate good character even in the midst of mess and difficult situations in our lives. So, how can we act with integrity in our relationships with other people when it's messy? To answer that question, we're going to look at a letter written by Paul to a church in Corinth. Paul wrote to them to address some of the issues that they were having. And one was the way that they treated other people and those around them. And this is what he wrote. "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, it always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." Paul is explaining how people following Jesus should treat each other. For us to have integrity in our relationships, we have to act lovingly because love leads to integrity. Notice that when Paul was writing about this, there wasn't a category about who it applies to. In fact, the expectation was that it applied to everyone, even people we don't like, people we don't agree with, people who don't believe the same thing we believe. When it comes to messy situations and complicated relationships, being intentional about honoring others can guide us toward what integrity and love truly looks like. Integrity honors every person that's involved in the situation. That includes you. Integrity honors everyone involved because you love others and yourself. Honoring everyone involved isn't always easy. Sometimes it's extremely difficult, but it is essential if we want to live with integrity and love others. And one of Jesus' final conversations with his closest friends before he died, he said this: "A new command I give you. Love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." See, people will know that we follow Jesus by the way that we love people around us. If we're really about living out what we say, then we need to love in this way. Jesus wanted his followers to love each other, even when things started to get messy. So, like we already said, there will be people in your life that are difficult to love. So, how do we truly honor everyone around us? Well, first, we can speak well of people behind their backs. We don't need to be gossiping and being rude to people's face and behind their back. That's not loving. Second, we can disagree with people without insulting them. If they don't agree with us, we can't be like, "Well, you're stupid," or here, let's do a nice one that is still mean. You just haven't been discerning enough. The third thing we can also do is we can be forgiving. Just as Jesus forgave us, he expects us to forgive those around us. You have an opportunity to act with integrity in your relationships by loving people. When we're acting in love towards everyone, we know we're acting with integrity because integrity honors every person involved in the situation. So, what if we experimented with living this way from now on? Living with integrity is a key part of building healthy relationships and communities. More important, it's key to demonstrating love like Jesus instructs us to. So this week, how can you honor people in your life? Chew on that, and I'll see you guys next week.